Happy New Year's, everybody, and welcome to my 2020 beginning of the year Digital Dungeon Master update. Wow, it's been a long time, hasn't it? I haven't really been feeling well lately. Back in October, I was going to start getting more active again and streaming and starting to host another game. But when I got back from vacation in early October, I got the pneumonia, and I've been struggling with that for, I had struggled with that for about 2.5 months. I was super sick. I had some parts of the time period where I was sick, I really honestly thought I was dying. But I battled through that, and it's now the new year. I'm feeling great, and it's time for some gaming. So once again, Happy New Year's, everybody. I hope you guys had a great Christmas. Hope you guys got a lot of gaming in. And that's what I want to do. This is a new year, January 1st, 2020. Like I said, it's time for me to get back into some gaming. I haven't actually ran a game since our Fantasy Grounds VIP trip that we took back in July. I'm totally chomping at the bit to get back into playing. Yes, I said playing, and also running games. So this is a new year for me. 2019 was basically a non-existent year for the Digital Dungeon Master. I did a couple of streams, just impromptu streams, turn on the stream and see how everybody was doing. I did that on Christmas Day, and I also did that on New Year's Eve last night. Had quite a few viewers. I was surprised, and I just have not been active. Like I said, I wanted to get back into it, but I got sick. Feeling much better. In fact, I feel better now than when I actually first moved here to Texas, because I wasn't feeling too good. And now that I've lost quite a bit of weight here in the last almost 2 years I've been in Texas now. And I've lost quite a bit of weight. I mean, I can even look at my old videos and I can just tell a massive difference. So I've lost over 100 pounds already, and I feel like a whole nother person. And I feel better now than I have. So, my New Year's resolution is to revitalize the Digital Dungeon Master, and this is I'm going to really give it a true legitimate shot. And and part of my goals. My New Year's resolution is stability and consistency, because last year I kept trying to get back going and something else would come up. And, there were a lot of other variables involved. But now a lot of that stuff is done. I've got my 76-year-old mother living with me. She retired and moved here to Texas last year. So she's been here for a little over a year now. She wasn't doing well at all. She was absolutely blind, but, with a couple of eye surgeries and cataract surgeries, now she's pretty much almost 20/20 again. I mean, it's just amazing. She hasn't been able to see in almost, 10, 15 years, and it's nice to see her doing well again. Her health is doing well. I mean, she's doing good. And that's only going to make it easier for me to be able to, get back into the Digital Dungeon Master swing of things. So, but, I'm going to be getting back into it. It's not going to be in the capacity that I did for the first, 5.5 years that I was doing Digital Dungeon Master content. There's no more videos every day or multiple videos every day. No more 5-6 games a week. No more 4 to 6 hour sessions. It's not going to be like that at all. So, what I'm intending to do is I'm intending to do at least one YouTube video a week. I'm going to try for 2. I realistically set a goal for 2 at first, but more realistically, I want to do at least one video a week. And, I have a lot of people always asking, hey, what's on the shelf behind you? So I'm going to do a new series of videos called What's on Dave's Shelf. So I'm just going to kind of take one cube at a time and just kind of show what I have, or break it down by a game system. So look for that. I'll be doing that. For whenever I start running a game, which I'll get into that in a little bit, I'll start during the time that we're playing the games. I'll be doing videos on the mechanics for the rule set that we're playing, so everybody can get used to the dice rolls and understand them, and why the dice are falling like they are. Character creation for the different games that we're going to be playing, etc. So I'll be doing videos during the time that, say, if we're playing Dragon Age, then I'll be making Dragon Age videos. Or if we're playing basic Dungeons and Dragons, I'll be making mechanics tutorials, character creation tutorials, all that stuff for basic Dungeons and Dragons. So I'll still be doing unboxings of products. So I'll still be doing those on my live streams and then carrying those over to YouTube. So I've had a request as well for a YouTube series on my favorites of the decade, seeing that we are, in a new decade. So I'll be doing some videos on, my favorite games of the last, 10 years. I'll probably do a couple of videos on my favorite classes from different games, favorite rule sets, favorite settings. So, the possibilities are endless. So I'll probably be doing that as well. So look for, at least one video on YouTube every week, possibly two. Just depends on, how much time that I actually have. So as for streaming, I'm looking to do, to start with, I'm looking to do 3 live streams a week. And now, when I moved to Texas, I didn't take the time zone into consideration. So there were times that I was starting streams at 8 and 10 o'clock just because I just wasn't ready until then. And when you take, the mountain time zone that I'm in into consideration, Europe is 2, 3 in the morning. The East Coast is 2 hours later. And it just really hurt the viewership. So, because people are in bed at that time when I started streaming. So now that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to start with 3 live streams a week. I'm going to start those at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, which will be 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So at least it won't be 4 o'clock in the morning when I'm starting to stream Euro time. So look for 3 live streams. The live streams are going to be pretty much live content creation for my world of Rakan. I'll be doing that. I'll also be doing some map creation for the adventures that I'm going to be writing for my world. I'm also going to be doing Fantasy Grounds campaign preparation. I'll also do some streams with guests like I did before. I've got a couple of really big names in the industry lined up for the next month or two. So once I get those plans all finalized and solidified, I will go ahead and make an announcement on all of the social media channels and also in the Digital Dungeon Master video for next month. So I also start in fact, I'm going to be doing one game as well. So the game is going to be every week. And I was doing multiple games every other week. It was just a pain in the butt. So I'm only going to be running one live stream game, and it's going to be with probably anywhere between 4 and 6 players. We're going to be playing a whole multitude of games. I'll talk about those in just a second. Like I said, we're going to be starting, actually the game that I'm going to be running, we are even going to be starting earlier. So the game will probably most likely be on Wednesday or on Sunday, and it's going to be an afternoon game. It will be a 4 p.m. Mountain Time start time. So that's going to be 6 p.m. Eastern start time, and that'll be like I believe it's going to be about a 10 or 11 time Euro start time. So, the whole goal is to get as many viewers as I can involved and not segregate the East Coast and Europeans, because I've done that for the last year and a half, almost 2 years. And, there's a lot of folks, when I started streaming earlier, I saw all kinds of people that I haven't seen in 2 years, and it was nice. And so, yeah, we're going to have a 4 p.m. Mountain Time start time when I start running the game. Now, the game isn't going to start until Fantasy Grounds Unity releases. So I don't want to start a game in Fantasy Grounds Classic, and then when we launch Fantasy Grounds Unity, I don't want to have to port all that content over. Not that it'll be a problem or anything, because everything will port over from Classic to Unity. I just don't want to have to deal with that. So the smart thing, which and that's another thing I'm trying to do things. I'm trying to work smarter, not harder. So, and I've worked harder for the last 6 years of doing streaming, and I want to do this easier. So it's just better to wait until Unity releases, and we have a first quarter 2020 release date. So this will also give me another month to prepare and also to make other content. So that's going to be a good thing. But like I said, we're going to be running probably 4 weeks in a row. Then we'll take a week off. We'll run 3 weeks in a row. We'll take a week off. So it's going to be a 2-hour game. I noticed over the years of dungeon mastering, and especially in an online environment, you lose the attention of the players after a couple hours. And then when you're using webcams and you can see everybody, after about the 2-hour mark, everybody starts surfing the web or pulling up other games, because you can see all of this happening as you're watching the different colors splash off of their faces and the reflections of eyes. So I think keeping the game at a 2-hour maximum every week is going to be a good thing. It'll keep the players wanting to, the players always wanted to come back for more anyway, but it'll also keep the viewers engaged, wanting more as well. So 2 hours a week. So for the next couple of years, and I'm looking far ahead for this, we're going to be playing a multitude of games. So we're going to be playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition. We're going to be playing Starfinder. We're going to be playing basic Dungeons and Dragons. We're going to be playing Shadow of the Demon Lord. We're also going to be playing some Talislanta. And I'm talking old school Talislanta, probably 2nd Edition, maybe 4th Edition. And also we'll be playing some Dragon Age as well. So those are the games that we're going to be playing over the next couple of years. I know a lot of you over the last 6 months have been asking, where's Omi? Where's 010? Where's Shen? Where's everybody? But we are taking a break from D&D 5e for a while. We've been playing D&D Solid 5e since D&D Next during the playtest. Back in 2013, we started playing. And we consistently played it every week, for 6 years. So it's time to play some other games. There's a lot of other games that my players want to play and they want to try. I want to take a break from it as well. I love D&D 5e. You guys know that. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't have played it for, 6 solid years. So for the next couple of years, we're going to be playing those games that I mentioned. And then after the game, I'm going to hang out for a 30 minutes after the game question and answer. So I'm gonna go back to what I used to do. I'd do a 6-hour session and then I'd stay for another hour and just answer questions. So now when we get back into the gaming after Fantasy Grounds Unity releases, I'm going to stay after for about 30 minutes and answer your questions about the game related stuff. So I'm definitely looking forward to get back into streaming 3 times a week, running a game a week. It's going to be really nice. So, but like I said, there's going to be all kinds of other streams as well. About 6 months ago, I believe it was July, I closed my Patreon page because I just couldn't commit. And when there's financial obligations involved, that's when I discontinued pay to play. That's when I discontinued all of my Patreon pledges and rewards as well. So I'm hoping by February I can get my Patreon page back up. It's going to be totally different. I've been thinking of ways over the last couple of months. I did a lot of thinking when I was sick, and I did a lot of brainstorming because, when you're laying in bed drowning in your own phlegm, you're just trying to survive and breathe, but pneumonia's a bitch, man, I'm telling you. But I did a lot of thinking and a lot of brainstorming, and I took pages and pages of notes on what I could do different and what I think I messed up on and what I think would be good ideas for going forward. So I will have my Patreon page back up, and it's going to involve the world of Rakan, which is the world that I've been basically writing and just jotting things down randomly over 25 year period. I mean, even when I wasn't fully playing D&D or playing online games, EverQuest or World of Warcraft or Lord of the Rings online, I would always still keep notes on, oh, hey, this is cool. I think this would be cool in in an RPG pen and paper type of adventure. So I've got ledger books and ledger books. I probably have 10 ledger books that are just absolutely full. And like I started last year, I started, creating content, but now I really want to get into that. I was burnt out last year. So I've been burnt out for a couple of years, but anyways, I'll talk about that later. But yeah, I want to get my Patreon page back up. I want to get, small pledges on there, $1, $2, $3, $4, and $5 pledges. And then in the future, even more down the line than next month after, I open the Patreon page and update my website and rebuild that and all that stuff. It's just, I'd like to do another one pay-to-play game. That will be pretty much 3 sessions a month. It'll involve any rule set that the patron wants to play, whether it be 5e or Pathfinder or whatever. You can have as many players as you want. So that'll be an option as well. I'm also going to be doing my content. I'm going to be creating maps, doing an adventure, doing other content like fully fleshed out towns, regions of my world, all kinds of NPCs, the key players, just random, bestiary pages, items that are involved in the world, magic spells. But for my world, I need to figure out what I'm going to do for a mechanic system. So there are many OGLs out there, but some of the OGLs, I just don't like the rules to them. Not meaning, I understand them, but when you create content, it should be your intellectual property. It should be your IP. But with some of the OGLs, if you use them, then all of your content becomes OGL as well. And I just don't. Some things I don't mind, but there's a lot of ideas that I have that I haven't seen in RPGs. And if I introduce them into my game, I really particularly don't want them to be open to everybody just to take and use in their games. But maybe I'm being selfish or whatever. But yeah. But tonight's stream, my first stream back, Wednesday night, will be all about trying to choose an OGL and one that will fit my needs and what will work for the game that I envision in my head. So, yeah, I'm looking to do that tonight. But back to Patreon, I'm going to have small pledges. You'll be able to, collaborate again. You'll be able to get show notes. Depending on your pledge. And like I said, it's going to be minimal pledges. It's not going to be like it was before. I want to get as many people involved, and I'll be doing a monthly giveaway for all of my patrons and stuff like that. So I'll have that back up and running in February. I'm hoping sometime in the beginning of February. So I'll announce something in next month's video. And the last thing that I want to talk to you about is something that I'm really looking forward to doing. I'll give you a little background story of when I first got into streaming. When I first got into streaming, I tried to reach out to several channels to see if they wanted to do some games or if they wanted to play and I could run and we could kind of cross promote each other's channels. That's networking is such a huge thing with, doing a Twitch stream or doing any kind of RPG online presence on YouTube or social media. But collaboration is a big thing. And I've always shied away with that. I always hated that idea simply because when I first started streaming, I reached out to there was only a couple of channels streaming on Twitch. Well, when I first got into it, it was Justin.tv and then it transferred over to Twitch. So when Twitch came into effect, there was only about 3 or 4 of us that were streaming consistently in D&D. Now there's like hundreds of games every night, which is great. And I love it. And it's great for our great hobby that we all love. And when I reached out to these channels, they weren't any powerhousing channels. I remember BECMI JP was the powerhouse in the D&D channel. Hell, D&D didn't have a channel. Nobody had channels. And it was just like 4 of us. It was like Rob's game group, myself, there was Thursday nights, and another channel. And it was a pure Pathfinder channel. And I'm not going to mention the channel name, but I reached out to this Pathfinder channel. And I asked if they wanted to do some kind of collaboration. And I had about a 10 to 15 viewer base at the time. They had about a 25 viewer base. So I thought, hey, that'd be a great channel to reach out to, and we could kind of collaborate. And they basically said, no, we're not interested because your channel isn't up to where our viewership is. And I'm like, well, 10 isn't really that much. I mean, I didn't say anything to them, but I reached out to him, and I reached out to another game group on there, and they both said the same thing. So I was like, okay, no problem at all. So all of a sudden, after I went from basic D&D, I started doing D&D next. And I was the first channel that started. I don't care what anybody says. I was the first person on Twitch to start streaming D&D next, before it was called D&D 5. And before you know it, I have, 500 to 1,000 people in my stream every game. And it just became so overwhelming. And that's how I became a partner on Twitch, is because of, that period of time. I mean, it was the viewership was just unbelievable. So then these other channels that I reached out to, now they're wanting to collaborate. They're both channels in the same day said, hey, we kind of thought about it, and we'd like to collaborate with you now. And here they know I got, 500 to 1,000 viewers. And I'm like, screw you guys. Basically, I told them, I said, look, before my channel exploded, and now I have 500 to 1,000 viewers, you guys still have your 25 viewers, which I don't care about. And I've helped other small channels, in the past by promoting and hosting and stuff like that. But these guys told me my channel wasn't good enough for them to collaborate with me. And I basically put it back on them and said, look, if my channel wasn't good enough for you when I had 15 viewers, my channel's not good enough now that I have 500 to 1,000. So I'm not interested. And then after that, I just shut off from every other Twitch streamer, and that would always ask and because I just didn't want to deal with it. So, but to announce now that I've got that out there, and to kind of give you guys and bring you up to speed why I haven't done a lot of collaboration, is because of that. And this is the first time that I've I mentioned it the other night on the stream that I did for, I believe it was last night. But that's why I never did any collaborations until the very end. I started having some guests and stuff like that from other channels. But anyways, now, seeing that I am a partner on Twitch, I'm going to be creating a network, an RPG network, with a select group of channels on Twitch. We'll have about 6 to 8 other DMs with their channels in my network. So we're going to be doing a lot of games. We're going to have a set schedule in stone. So you'll be able to watch so-and-so on Friday. You'll be able to watch me on Wednesday or Sunday. You'll be able to watch so-and-so. I almost started doing names, but I'm not giving any names yet. So-and-so on this day and day, or this day. We're going to do some collaborations between all of the channels. We'll do some roundtables. Every couple months, we'll probably do a one-shot where we rotate the different channels as DM. So I'll probably be doing my A-Team Savage Worlds one-shot finally. I've been saving that for years now. But we're going to do stuff like that. It's going to be an RPG network. I don't think there are any pure RPG networks on the D&D channel. I could be wrong, but I don't know of any. I know that there's a lot of video games that have a couple of D&D channels in there, but this is purely going to be an entirely all new RPG network on Twitch. And like I said, we're going to have 6 to 8 channels in the network. The collaboration is going to be there. And I'll have more details for you in the future. I'll give you the name. I'll give you the link. I still have to create the network. There's some things I have to do with Twitch. I believe there's some paperwork involved and stuff. So I'll get that set up. And hopefully by next month, by February, I'll have more details for you, more links and all that other good stuff for the new RPG network that's going to be on Twitch. And I don't know the name yet. That's, those are part of the details that we have to hash out, and I'll have that for you in the future. So that's it, everybody. I've been yammering on enough, and I think it's time to get back into the swing of things. I'm really looking forward to it. I feel awesome now. I'm so rejuvenated and revitalized, and I'm hungering to get back into playing games and running games and making videos again. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, I want my New Year's resolution for 2020 not only to just come back and just get by with Digital Dungeon Master. I don't want to do that anymore, which I've done the last couple of years. I want stability. I want consistency. My games will be spot on time. All of my videos will be released. They'll be nicely done, nicely edited, and I need to get you guys back, the viewers that have gone away over the last couple of years, because this has been totally my fault. I burnt myself out, like I mentioned earlier, and I was burnt out for several years, and so taking off at the mid part of 2019 was a good thing for me to do, and I'm ready to do it, guys, and I hope you guys want to take this trip with me, and we'll have a good time. So thanks again for watching, everybody. Please feel free to leave a comment down below. I always keep an eye on the content, on all of the content, all of the comments, and I respond. So if it's a positive comment, leave it. If it's a negative comment, please feel free to leave it. I'll answer it to the best of my ability. Thumbs up the video, thumbs down the video, it doesn't matter to me, as long as you guys just check out the content, because I'm really going to be getting back into this, and hopefully I'll see you guys on the interwebs. So until next video, happy gaming, stay safe, and keep using that awesome Fantasy Grounds virtual tabletop program. Bye, everybody.